Okay, so welcome to class once again. And then in our last class we started discussion about Power BI interface itself. And then we had a walkthrough of the interface. So in our today's class we'll be taking it a step further, and then by a step further we can and how to start things around it. So very quick, I'll be very fast with this class. I'll be very quick and then straightforward, but then at the same time I will see ensure that we are properly carried along with the class, so that I will not get some distraction midway. Let me put all this one off, then I can make it open to everybody, which is fine, and then score, and then I can come back here. So we have different ways of getting data set on this guy, like I mentioned already. And then let's come to get data, come to your more, and then you get this. So in our last class, I remember that I was using the data set of your assignment. I remember that I loaded the data set of your assignment. That was what I used to taught you guys out, and I also showed you the test file, the CSV file part of things also. So let me see if I can show you how to web scrape very fast. So this is kind of bonus class. So let me teach you how to web scrape very fast. So for web scraping, so let's come to our Google. Let's come to our Google and let's type IVDA top movies. Let's look at this. You are given a website. You are given a website and you want to scrape data from it. So I'm clicking on this. You are given a website and then you want to scrape data set from it. So this is basically how to go about that. So this is the website, IDMB top 50 movies and the likes. This is the same principle that works for every other web scraping to an extent. If it is not Google Sheet, if it is Google Sheet, you are going to bring it out exactly as it is. So this guy, and then we have quite a lot of movies over here, about 250. About 250 movies. Yeah, 250. So this guy is like this. And then we want to bring this guy into a table format. We want to see it as a table. A column for the name, a column for the year, a column for the duration, a column for the rating, all those things. You want to have all this in the table. So how can you do that? So you can come back here and then come to let's search for our web over here. Search for web and then click this. Let me quickly see if I can so I can classroom. Let me quickly get my feedback screen so that I can be sure you guys are following. Okay, so what that is green. So my web, and then I want to come back here to come and copy the link. Let me see. Okay, I think you guys are still in class with me. I want to copy this link over here. Copy this link because I want to scrape from this web page. So you come here to copy the link, and then you come back here and then you put the link over here, and you can click on your OK. So immediately you click on your OK, this takes back to your websites. This guy will link up to your websites. So we are waiting for this guy. I think my stuff is ready here. I hope it's ready. I can view from this. So this actually the speed of this depends basically because we are scraping from online from the website. The speed of this card depends on the speed of your laptop of your network provider. I'm currently on MTN now, and I definitely will know that MTN is no longer everywhere you go. So we might be having some form of lag right now on this. But then this guy is dragging through like too much. This guy is dragging too much. Okay, I think it's coming up. I think it's coming up. Okay, yeah, fine. So we have some tables over here that this guy is saying by default, and then the table will come. And if this guy is already trying to put it in format for us, can you say this is not bad actually? This is not bad actually. This looks like exactly like what we want to try and achieve. This looks exactly like what we want to try and achieve. This is yeah. So I think if you want, you can go on with this. If this you're comfortable with this, let me look at another thing. So by default, this guy is automatically picking some form of something that can form as a table by default. So this is the web view. You can look at the web view, how the website looks. Just like we saw it. You can look at it over here. Just like you are browsing. You can do all this and likes. But then if you are doing web scraping, you want to be able to configure this thing as you want. Like you want to be able to configure all these guys or your table like you want. So you want to come and use add table using examples. You want to come to add table, this guy down here. We want to come to add table using examples. So click on this guy, add table using examples. And this guy will take you to a blank table like this. And it will bring out your website up here. So yeah, your website is up here. And then you have this guy over here. And we want to name this one to title. And then what else do we have apart from the title? We might need title, let's say year. So I want to have my duration. I want to have my rating. I want to have my age rating. I want to have my age rating. These are the things I want to have. So let's just give it minimal that. From here, you can see that this is your title over here. This is your year over here. This is the duration over here. This is your normal rating over here, and this is your age rating over here. So you can already see, and you can see it's consistent for every guy over here. So now let's do this. Let's do the first one. So I want to write teach. So just type your title. The first title there is the sharp. Can you see this guy right here? I just need to click on this guy. And then click on your enter and see the magic that will happen. Can you see that by default, this guy has already populated every other one that is there? The Godfather, the Dark Knight, the Godfather Part 2, Angry Men. Can you see that? So that is fantastic. So we can go to the year 1994. 1994, and you can double click again. And then click on your enter. By default, this guy will fill others also. Imagine 1994 movie is still the one with the highest ranking so far. Wow. 0. We are having 2009 movies. We are having recent movies. 2014. Wow. Old movies they rank pass. It makes sense. So duration, what's the duration? 2 hours 22 minutes. Can you see this? Just click on this and click on your enter. And then again, it will populate for everything again. Can you see? That's 2 hours 22 minutes, 2 hours 55 minutes, 2 hours and 2 minutes. You can see that already been populated. The rating, so I want to click on our rating 9.3 rating. So to click on my enter. And then let's see. Yeah, so 9.3 rating, 9.2, consider that 9.1, 9.0, okay. Age rating, let's say 15. 15. So, and click on your enter again, and then see the magic again, populating down. Yeah. So 15, 15, 12A, yeah. X, yeah. U, yeah. 12A, yeah. 15, and the likes and the likes. So I'm coming. Let me try if I can look at. Uh, look at this. It is will work. Okay, so let me type 3.1. 3.1. Yeah, so this guy right there. Let me click on enter. Let me see. So, yeah, so I have all those values over there. Yeah, I have all those values over here. So which is not a problem. So I can click on my once I'm done, once you are done with everything you want to extract over here, I can click on your OK. Then clicking on your OK, this guy will go back here and put you on customer table. And you can see here, yeah, this is your table title, year, duration, rating, age, raters, and then you can click on your transform data. So that is the E in your ETL process. You are done extracting. That's like I've mentioned before. That is the E in your ETL process. So now you want to come to the T in your ETL process. So for Power BI, for our T in our ETL process on Power BI, it is just like I mentioned before, it is called transform. And then it leads us to a guide that we call our Power Query Editor. It leads us to a guide that we call our Power Query Editor. So this our Power Query Editor is a big shark on its own. So as a big shark, this guy actually is another platform on its own that you can actually do so many things. You can do you can do anything on your just like you have your Excel as it were, it's on its own. So the way that you have this guy on his own. So this guy allows you to make your data ready for analysis. This guy allows you. So we have just like we have studied the interface of our Power BI, the interface of our Excel, just the same way we have studied those interfaces, same way that this guy also has interface. So here we have close and load. This is the final step. If you click on close and load, it will help you to load. That is the L in your ETL process. That is the load. You are loading it to your Canva, to your report view. So, but then over here, not only to your report view, to your table, to your data modeling and the likes. So, but then you are loading it into the system. But then, and then if you want to get data from another source, you can. If you want to get more data, you can come here to get more data from any source that you want. If you want to add additional data, you can always do that. If you want to use any of the recent source that you just did, these are the recent sources that I've used, and I can connect back to them. If you want to enter data manually, you want to be doing it one by one on your table yourself, you can use this. Your data source setting is if you want to deal with the settings of this where it come. For this one, if you want to manage all your parameters on your query, this is where you come. If you want to refresh, for example, this guy, we are picking this guy up from online. So if anything changes about this online, I can easily just come here and click on my refresh. So this refresh will load and it will go back to my source, which is the online, and it will look at if there's an update on what I actually pitched out. So if there's an update on it, it will automatically reflect on this place by default. It will automatically reflect. So that's one of the automation process that we have. It will automatically, by the time there's a change from the original source, it will automatically come and reflect on this guy. So that's what your reflection is doing. So for your properties, you want to look at the properties of your data. You want to your advanced editor, you want to use your advanced editor, you want to manage, you want to delete to dictate your table, or you want to reference your table. These are the guys that you can use for that. So I'm still waiting for this guy to be downloading because it is when it's downloading that we can use any of these other guys. So we have this guy choose column. So if you have voluminous column you are dealing with, like large number of column, and you really want to quickly go to any one of them, that is when you use this choose column. So it helps your navigation. It helps your navigation. So it helps you to navigate very fast to wherever you are going. So that is where your choose column. That's what it does. For your remove column, if you want to delete any of this column, so under this remove column, we have two options under it. I don't know what this guy is taking. Okay, I should not have even refreshed. I just remember that it was giving us issue with network not quite long. Because I should be showing you all these things, not showing them to you. Okay, this guy is downloading. So now, as I choose column, so I can do choose columns, or I can do go to column. So for example, now can you see rating? I'll click on this guy, and this guy, as can you see, this guy will only pick that one, and you can look at it holistically. If you want to narrow it down, you can look at it holistically. So you can go back to choose column and select everything back. Okay, and everything will come back. So if you want to go to column from here, let's say you want to go to Reuters column, you have voluminous, so click on here and it will take you to that column. Straightforward. So that is what your this does. So for your remove column, you can remove column. Like if you want to delete this, you can remove it. And then can you see I've removed that particular column. Now, unlike your Excel that you have Control Z, that you have Control Z that you can use to undo. There is no undo on your pivot table, on your Power Query rather. There is no undo on your Power Query. So there's a tab over here that actually records all your settings. Can you see apply steps over here? There's a tab over here that records all the steps you are applying in it party. So if you need to undo anything that you've done, for example, I just deleted the column now for the raters. If I want to do undo, I will just come to my apply steps, because it just kept a record that I removed this column. So I can just undo it. I can just cancel it, and then my column will come back here. So for this guy also, we have remove other columns. So I can remove other columns. This means that I've deleted other columns. It's not like the choose column that we did the other time. If you come to choose column, you won't see them there again. Okay, you see have them there. It should not have been there, because we actually removed other columns. So we basically use this one to delete other columns that we don't want to deal with them. We don't want to see them again. That's what we use this one to do. So for this one, for your row, the same thing this one is doing for your column, the same thing this guy is doing for your row. Whether you want to keep your row or you want to delete your row. So that is also what this one is actually doing over here. That's also what this is doing. So if you want to keep some rows and delete some others and the likes, so this guy help you to do. So if you want to remove some rows and the likes, this guy help you to do that. All this you remove duplicate. These are part of your data cleaning process and the likes. So this is your sorting. Your sorting is your arrangement A to Z or Z to A, just like we know. Your A to Z or your Z to A. So like you are arranging them alphabetically of anywhere. Yes, Calista, it is being recorded here. So yeah, yes, I've confirmed. Yeah, it is being recorded. So enter from your A to Z or your Z to A. That is your sorting. So you are arranging it alphabetically, or that maybe from largest to lowest, or the lowest to largest. Now we have this guy we call split column. Split column is like, I think I thought you have to split column on Excel anyway. But then split column is that you want to divide something. You want to divide the column into two. For example, this particular column, I don't need this 1 point, 2 point, 3 point like in front of it. I just want the names of it. So I can come here and split this column. So I want to use by delimiter this time around, because I can see some space in between it. So instead of this, let me use space instead. So I want to use just leftmost delimiter, that is leftmost, and then I can do my okay. Let's see the results. So can you see the result that this guy is giving us? So that's removed all these 1 to 3. I don't need this 1 to 3 because I already have the numbers already here. So I don't need this guy. I can remove this column. These are the things we do in our data cleaning process. I can give this guy as type 2. So this is better now. This is better now. This is better now. just the names. So that is how to use your split column. So you can split by delimiter, you can split by the number of characters, you can split by the position, you can split by lowercase to uppercase, you can split by uppercase, you can split by anything. Split by anything. So that's what we have over here. So for your group by if you are trying to group them, like for example, you can't use group by on this, and that's because of the fact that these are not in categories. These are not items in category. Assuming we are dealing with items in category, then we can easily do our group by. I'm coming group by. Let's use group by year. Yeah, group by year. So let me see. I want to count the years. Count rows. Count rows. New column. Count all. So this guy would count the number of times the years actually occurs. So let's click on OK, and then you see. So 1994 is occurring 5 times. 1972 is occurring once. 2003 is occurring 7 times. So this guy is actually grouping by the age, by the year. So we have 2025 occurring just once. So I just want 2025 movie and enter this Blockstar. Wow. Wow. Did I say all the big actors, script writers, they don't die finish. Now the quack remain for streets. Because if 1990 something movie is still rating way high than all the recent movie, then it means something is happening in the industry right now. So that's simply what it means. It means something is happening in the industry now. Whether they are not getting it right again, or people taste has changed. These are the ways. Like these are the things that will give you analysis. These are the ways to think as a person. These are the ways to think as a person. Like I'm looking at all this and I can see that 2025 just 1, 2024 just 3, 2023 just another 3, 2022 1, and I can see that in previous years we have even we have more of all these guys in the previous years. 4 year, we have 7 year, 2023 we have 2024 another 7. These are the things that actually help us to make a foundation that what is now happening? Since as all these top 20, top 250 movies, recent movies should be entering is more than all this. But then it is what it is. So I can undo this, and then leave this guy as it is back to our original. So that's actually your group by function. So also we have our data type also. So this is used to change your data type to whatever you want. So this is year. Definitely year should actually be in dates, but then we will not use it as state because it is just year as it were. So in fact, if it is just ESF, for me, I would prefer to use it as a test and not as a date. I prefer to use this one as a test and not as a date, because the maximum thing I want to be able to perform on this is my count. I can't sum all these here together now. I can't look for the average year. It's not making any sense. So I want this guy to be. So this is what we call our data standardization process. I think I mentioned data standardization in class before. This is what we call our data standardization. So what data standardization means is the fact that you want to ensure that your data sets are following the same data type that you want. So you can either do it here, or you can come here and pick on all these guys and do it here. Come to here and do it here. Like anyhow you want it, you can do it like that. So if I want to standardize it, this is my duration. I would have preferred to format it better to be in time. I would have loved to format it better to be in time. But then this guy will give an error. Yeah, definitely I'm expecting it to give an error. But this guy will give an error. And that's because of the fact that I need to remove this H, I need to remove this M, and replace it with something that will make this guy to understand that it is time. So, but then that is under our data cleaning process, which we are not so much keen about right now. So, you can easily look at something like replace value to replace H, which is with semicolon, and then okay over here. Okay, I can do replace value again. Replace value. These are the functions you have. I don't want to replace my M at all. Just leave it as it is. Again, replace value again. place value again. So I want to move my space and leave it with nothing. So yeah, this guy are now kind of coming back together. So if I change this one to time like this guy should not give me an error. Can you see? This guy is not giving me an error. It's giving me 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 12 seconds behind it. So this makes more sense for me. This makes more sense for me. Yeah, this makes more sense. So this we have this guy to duration as it itself, as it based how we had it before. So this makes more sense for an average person looking at it outside. So so let's see what's the hit. There's error, 7 errors on this. What are the errors? I'm thinking it is the non. Thinking it is the non. It is the non cells. I'm thinking it is the non cells. But then this guy is not giving us the details of the non. If I should remove the errors, this guy will give us a complete data set. So I will leave it as it is for now. So the same thing for your rating. You want your rating as it were, your age rating as it were. It is fine like this, and then your this for this. You want to leave it as maybe environment to and like do over here yourself, so that it will be in the exact. So these are calculations you might actually look at later. So this is what I've been using before. Replace value, that is to find and replace. Can use this one to replace value, and that's what the function of this guy is doing. And then for this one, so let's assume that let's say this, use header as first row. So let's say we have this. At times your data sets can be like this. At times your data sets can be like this. That what you have up here is just column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. That's your headers that you're looking at. They are the one over here. That they are the one over here. If you have things like this, you don't need to panic. You just need to come here and come to set first row as header. Use first row as header, and it will promote your first row to be your header. It is as simple as that. So that is why we have this function over here. That's what it is doing. And then if you want to merge your queries, you have more than one query, you want to merge it together, you can come over here and the like. So under data transformation, so I think we are getting over this little by little. Under data transformation, the same thing use first row as header. I've taught you this. You're transposing. I've taught you transposing. Your transposing is changing your columns to your row and your rows to your column. If you have a data set that needs you to do that. So for example, if you do it over here, I think we should get result, but then it will not make so much sense. Can you see? It's not making so any sense. But then this guy has changed our columns to our row and our rows to our columns. So that is what that guy is used for. So for reverse rows, so for reverse, you want the number 250 to come up and the number 1 to go down. So that's what the reverse row is doing. Can you see? This is the last guy. And if you go to the last top, you see that the first guy we have over there, that will be there. Can you see the shark, the Godfather client? Can you see? That is what your reverse row is doing. So I can reverse it back. So that it can be as it is. So that's fine. So if you want to count the total number of your rows, this is the guide. So we have 250 rows. That is non-negotiable. So I can come back here and then so we'll transform again, and then this detect data type. I've already taught you that already. If this is your detect data type, you want it to automatically detect the data type to the end. So you want to use this. You want to change the name of the column, you can come here. But then instead of coming through that, you just want to click on this guy. It's still the same thing. Replace value, I've shown you replace value already. Your field. If you want to fill down, you want to fill up the same way, just like your Excel is doing. Your fill down, your fill up, you will really be using all this, because by default, this guy always calculates per row, per column rather, not individually like your Power BI. Then it is what it is. So for your pivoting of your column, like we use pivoting majorly in accounting actually. So it's something you might want to explore later. So for pivoting, if you have longer columns, it will shrink your column. It will reduce your column numbers, but then definitely in turn, it will increase the number of rows that you have. That's what your pivoting is doing. So maybe you have something splitted over in years. If you just bring the years on under the color under the rows, and then you just split it and the like. So that is what your pivoting does. Your pivoting also reverse of your pivoting and the likes. So if you want to move your column, this is your move. If you want to move your column, you want to move to the right. I can move this to the right if I want. Can you see that? I want to move it back to the left. That's basically what it does. So if you want to convert it to list, so this is just the list. So to just give you as a list, like so, that's what that one is doing. So for this other one, I've taught you split column already. For your formats, if you want to format, you want to do some lowercase, uppercase, italicize each word. You want to trim, you want to clean, you want to add prefix to it, you want to add suffix to it. These are your best guide you can always run to get all those ones done. So for your extracts, if you want to extract something, you want to remove some things, you want to extract them, this is your best guide to always go. So your parse also, if you want to parse as JSON file, you will not really be using all this XML. This is XML parse and then JSON file parse. So you will not be using all those ones. You will use JSON file for construct for a form of 3D. There is a crazy part. There's another part of Power BI, because Power BI is used for so many things. ArcGIS, lots of yours use Power BI. Some of them that know it. So many people, so many sectors. Construction people, they use Power BI. Construction people, finance, just name it. Power BI is provision for so many people. So that's one of the, and that is actually buttressing the fact when I told you that anything you have right now, you can actually start using all these tools. So if you want to perform some arithmetic, some calculations on the line, this guy will also allow you to perform those calculations, those things. So like your sum, also if you want to look at your sum, so you can see the sum over here, just like you would do on your Excel. But then this one will not allow you to do it in another column and the likes. This guy will just take the whole of it. So if you want to perform some basic calculations, you are using all these guides to perform the calculations. So the same thing with your standard. Maybe you want to multiply everything over here by 100. You want to add 100 to everything. For example, let's say I'm clicking on this and I'm multiply by what? Let me multiply everything by 100, and you see the magic now. Then okay, see that everything on this column is now multiplied by 100. That's basically how it works. So it helps your calculations. So all these guys are calculations, and then if you want to do your trigonometric ratios, all these are basically your calculations that you may want to consider depending on whatever you are doing. So all this your add column. If you want to add column to this, you can always add new columns to this. You can always do your conditional column. Your conditional column, this is your if statement. If rating is higher than 9, say this. If age rating is 15 or below, say this. If not, say this. All those kind of conditional stuff. So so you can always add columns, whether columns for calculations or column for your conditionals. So you can always add it, and then you have every other one also intact. For your view, this actually talks into how you actually manage your view. So my own is on monospace. This is how your own will be normally. This is how your Power BI will be normally. So, but then for me, I prefer my monospace. That is why I let it like this, all this way. So if you want to look at your column quality, you can click on this, and then this guy will tell you how your column is performing generally. So this guy can tell you that. And then your white space is not really so anything. Your column distribution, this guy will give you the distribution of the column. Yeah, so we have 250 unique, 250 distinct, we have 87 distinct, 20 unique, and then to give you the distribution at just a glance. If you want to see this, your column profile is actually not really doing so much. So all these one are just affecting your views. They are just affecting your views. And definitely, if you want to change this one to black, you can go back to your settings to change it. So that is this about your Power Query interface as it were. So for us to have a kind of good grasp of what our Power Query interface, what it looks like. So once you are done with whatever you want to do over here, for example, I changed this one to test the other time. I still want to change this one to test the other time, which I want to maintain. This one, I want to maintain it as duration, or I think I had it as time that time. No, what is it giving us? This was not giving us headache the other time. Now. Okay, so your rating, I want to do the rating like this. Because I want to see the average rating. Your age, I want to see it like this. This one, let me also leave it like this since I'm not doing any of this for now. So once I'm done, that as when I'm done with everything now, I can just do my close and apply. So, and this guy will bring it to my Power BI Canva. This guy will bring it to my Power BI Canva. Yeah. And then definitely I can now start any form of analysis I want to do. I can now start any form of analysis I want to do. So that's basically a quick insight into how your Power Query looks like. That's basically the quick insight into how your Power Query looks like. So from here, you can now, once you're able to load all this and we are ready, we can now start doing what we call our visuals. You can now start visualizing. So now, before you start visualizing, if you are dealing with multiple tables, I've already told you before now that we have something we call our data modeling. So I should have so your data modeling it helps you to establish relationship between some form of quite a number of data. So I'm coming. This guy is still evaluating. Why are we delaying evaluating? What do you think they evaluate since? Okay. So this guy has loaded 7 errors on the likes. Okay. So and then we have this guy over here, and this guy is doing fine, just fine over here. So and then from there we can start any of our analysis. So now let me quickly check something. Let me quickly check something. Let me quickly do why still teaching class? I might not finish this, but then let me quickly start it, and then maybe I might even rush it a little bit. But then because I want to teach you guys how to manage multiple tables on your Power BI, how to deal with multiple tables. Because basically we are done with this one. So we just want to maybe just start our visuals. Maybe just want to start our visuals. We want to just start our visuals. Okay, our grid line is on. To view. I don't like this grid line. Like it's my own personal preference anyway. You might need it. You will need it since you're just starting out. So you need it to open this guy. To open this guy. So you might need that. Let me close this guy. Like so, let's say I want to know the total number of movies that we have over there. I want to put this guy over here, and then I want to change this one to. I think I'm opening too many things at once. So I'm waiting for this guy to pop up. So basically that's the process of your getting. So if whether you are using your Excel, whether you are using your CSV file, whether you are using your text file, that's basically the process of getting your data set on your Power BI. So now you now need other level of detailed information when you are dealing with multiple tables, because at times you will have to be dealing with multiple tables. You will have to be dealing with multiple tables, like your table for your sales, your table for your customer, your table for your product, your table for your this, your table for your that, quite a number of them. So now, to work effectively with that, we now need to understand what to call our data modeling. We need to understand what to call our data modeling. So for our data modeling, I don't know the reason why this guy is still showing me white space. I'm not telling you to show me white space now. Hope I'm not trying to lose this or these things like this. Let me see if it will save. Okay, better. This guy is back. So now, instead of this first thing, I want to change this guy to counts this time. So just change to counts. So can you see that we have 250 data sets over here? So if we are to be dealing with multiple data sets, by the time it comes to this model, instead of having just one table over here, you have as many tables as you are loading over it. You have as many tables as you are loading over it. So this guy is not open. Okay, that guy is not open. I want that guy to open. But then this is your table view. You can always view your table over here. What can you guys see?
Yeah, I guess as much. I guess as much actually, because you can't see my screen. Because I can see this blank here.
So you should be able to see my screen back now. Yeah, you should be able to see my screen back now. Can you see my screen now? I believe so. You should be able to see my screen back now. Yeah, just back. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Kalista. Yeah. So I was saying that for this guy that we can see this guy that, but then as long as we have multiple tables we are dealing with, this guy with more than one, you see so many tables over here. And then just that if you're not dealing with multiple tables, you now need to understand how to link all the tables together. So there's a guy we call manage relationship. Manage relationship. This guy over here, manage relationship. So this guy will manage relationship between all the tables. Now we need to now understand what our primary keys are, what our foreign keys are, so that we can understand how we can actually match two or more tables together primarily, so that we can learn how to match two or more tables together. So this other file I'm trying to open, I don't know, it is not opening. I don't know the reason why it is not opening. But then this guy, I think I have multiple tables on this guy. But then in case it is not opening now, that means that in our next class, I will show you what data modeling is, like multiple tables, and then how they are being joined together, talking about your cardinality, talking about your cardinality, talking about your relationship and the likes. So you'll be able to match multiple tables together on their keys. So what are we going to how are we going to know what table and what table can be matched together? And then under data modeling, we have something we call star schema, and there's something we call snowflake schema. Something we call star schema, and something we call snowflake schema. All those things, they look like technical jargons for now. But then the truth is, by the time we break them down in our next class, it will make more sense to us because we'll be dealing with multiple tables. So for these tables, there's something we always call fact table, and there's something we call dimension table. Fact table and dimension table. So it is this guy is not loading. Why is she or he not loading? So so I can just do it with this. I don't really need this. So from this, I can now start my visuals. I can start anything I want to do over here. My rating, let me say my rating is here. And then I want to put my rating over here. Yeah, I know that this is what you should put there. I want to change this one to average rating. And my average is this. I want to set the maximum. I want to put something on the maximum. Let me put this one over here as the maximum, and then put maximum over here. This is not a good way to go about it, but then because I've not taught you DAX, I should have put this one to be 10 and not to be maximum of this. But then because I've not taught you guys how to use DAX, that's why I'm just using this. So if I taught you how to use DAX, what I will just do is I will come here, I'll just come and say new measure and say max rating is equals to 10. And then I will leave it like this, and I'll come back here. I will delete this, and then I will drop this max rating and put it here. Can you see 10? And then that solves a lot of headache for us. That solves a lot of headache. So, but then because I've not taught you guys DAX, which we are going to do alongside with our data modeling in the next class. We're going to do it alongside our data modeling in the next class. So even if you are unable to finish, we finish it up on Sunday, and then you start our dashboard proper on Sunday. If you can't finish, we finish it up on Saturday next week, and then before we start moving into our SQL. So I think this is a good spot to actually end the class for tonight, so that I will not start something I will not be able to finish in the little time frame we have. But then if you have any question, please, you can just throw the question at me right now so that I can quickly answer a question before we call it a night. So I'm waiting for you, please. Okay, somebody is raising hand. Calista, please, you can go ahead. I think you should be able to unmute yourself now. Please, you can go ahead, Calista. Calista, you can unmute yourself. Calista. I'm guessing Calista is just using up his hand for phone. I'm not sure he has a question. So any other question? Any other person? Any other question? Any question from tonight? Calista, I already allowed you to unmute yourself, but then you are not unmuting yourself. There's nothing. There's no last class recording. That one has been discussed earlier. Yes, I know. You'll get it tomorrow. That's not a problem. You'll get it tomorrow. Okay. You get that one tomorrow. That's not a problem. So that's fine. So if there's no other question, please, I will ensure that today's recording and tomorrow's and the last class, I will discuss it with my PA so that she can get it ready for you guys tomorrow, and so that you guys can have access to it before our next class. So thank you so much, everyone. Please do well to have a wonderful night rest, please, and then we'll pick it up from here in our next class so that we can move at faster pace. So we might depending on schedule, we might still have maybe another of this kind of session again, depending on schedule. But then I will just leave us to start SQL first, and now see if we need it again. Then that day I will look at it that we have 1 hour 30 minutes complete, and not 1 hour like we did today. But then the 1 hour also it actually did a lot. So whatever you learned in today's class, it's something that is added to you that you can always use. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.